Pellman's Automotive in Boulder, Colorado. ASE Master Certified and has his AAM designation. So Brad Pellman's here. Paul Marquardt, shop owner, Northwoods Auto Techs in Rhinelander, Wisconsin. NAPA trainer and was the NAPA ASE Tech of the Year in 2010. Hi, Paul.
Hey, good morning, guys.
And Peter Foreman from Integra Tire, Langley, British Columbia. Our
Hello.
Canadian here on the board. Second generation shop owner, Integra Tire. Peter, been up at his in his neck of the woods and hung out with him and saw you at ATE a few years ago, and you've been on the show. So thank you. Thank you all for having graced our airwaves here with your presence. Now, anyone who's on with us, please share this great topic today. Make your competitor your friend. We've got the coronavirus and all the cancellations out of our system now. We've at least talked about it. I want to thank the Shopware for keeping the lights on here. You know, no other tool can transform your business like your management system. Shopware's leading shop management system is helping shops like yours generate more profit per ticket and get more efficiency from your staff. Get a free demo at shop-ware.com. More time and more profit. Guys, by the way, I've got my first 2020 cold. It is not the coronavirus because I did go to the doctor and he did confirm that it was just a calm cold. So it was the worst that I possibly could have yesterday. I didn't really think I could make this show today. But I'm going to, hopefully my cold will be gone in a couple of days. Brad, let's start with you on this topic. One of the biggest thoughts or muscle memories that we have to have on the topic, make your competitor your friend, is to realize how much business there really is out there.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, just anytime I talk to a shop owner who seems like they're concerned about the guy down the street or something, that's one of the first things I bring up is, hey, you know, how many cars drive by your shop every day? You know, can you work on all of those? Could you work on all those in a year? And the answer is virtually always no. There's no way I could work on those. And I'm like, well, then what is the problem exactly? Because it's not the guy across the street. So, you know, there's more than enough cars out there for us, for the dealerships, the manufacturers, anybody that wants to work on cars. They're all out there. We just have to do it right so that they come to us.
Guys, don't be bashful to chime in. I want to make a comment on that. When you do the math, and by the way, I'm this big believer in taking out the yellow pad and doing the math and sitting down with your friend and says, hey, I went to the DMV and I found out that there's X number of cars in our market. And I also counted all the shops that I know of in the area. And I did the math. I took the number of shops divided by the number of cars, and here's what I got. We each, all of us, have to fix this many cars. Can you fix that many cars? And that's what hits it. So when you think about the fact that there's so much opportunity out there that we should be worried about being ugly with each other. Hey, I don't want to use the word hate, but we just had a, for the record, rant on this past Monday about, you know, why are we so down on each other? What are we doing this for? Why are we trashing each other? This is absolutely crazy. This just can't keep happening. And it starts with getting to know your buddy down the road. So I was on this big rant a while ago. Please stop me if I'm long in the tooth on this. But hey, Joe, let's go have coffee. What the hell do you want? Peter,
I just want to have coffee.
Yeah, coffee. All I want to do is have coffee.
Just coffee, man.
It's just coffee. You want to steal one of my secrets, and you know that he doesn't have any.
Yeah.
And you know that he doesn't have any. And his secrets are he's really struggling, and he doesn't want to admit it and get up and out of his way. Each of you guys understand and get that whole networking piece. And how you have learned so much of what you know and the success rate that you're at because you learned it from your peers.
Absolutely. There's the saying, and I'm sure it's been said many times. I think I know I've heard it before. The R&D, right? Rip off and duplicate. and I use that all the time. And you know, you talked initially about COVID-19 in the beginning, and our good friends, you know him, Scott Waddle from Precision Auto, is just recently he posted a letter stating what they're doing to reduce the risk of that in their shop. And I'm pretty much going to use that same letter word for word, because I was trying to figure out how to word it, and he just did such a good job. And it's okay, because he's my friend and he's probably happy I'm going to use it. I'm not going to use it exactly, but that's what we do. We share things with each other to be better, right? And that's how friends work.
Right.
So,
we don't need to reduplicate everything. It's like a shop handbook. Like that was a big one for us. Is we didn't have one, and we didn't even know where to begin. And then all of a sudden, friends of ours through some of the groups that we're in started offering theirs up just left and right, and it was phenomenal. I mean, it saved us months worth of work.
there's a danger in that. I just want to remind everyone, because how you run your shop and the other guy who runs his shop is not the same. And if you totally duplicate a handbook, you're going to get yourself in some kind of trouble. I just want you to be warned on that.
Yeah,
Right. No, but it's just as a footprint to get going.
It's a footprint. It's an outline. It's a guide.
Yeah.
Yes. What were you going to say, Peter?
I was just say same thing. You need to make it yours. I've looked at other people's handbooks as well. I've used it as a guideline to help create my own, which is ongoing and always changing as the shop is developing and growing and evolving with technology and things like that. We have to change it, right, as you go.
I want to stay with Brad for one more talking point here, and then I want to just totally open this up to some of the what to do's and how to do it. But Brad, you've told me before, it's better to have friends than enemies.
Absolutely. I mean, none of us are incapable of making mistakes or getting jammed up on a job. Stuff happens, right? So having a team or a group of shop owners who have maybe already gone through something you're going through now, or maybe have solved the problem that you're trying to solve right now, and being able to go to them because you're friends and you get along and you understand that you're all there to help each other. There's no price tag for that, right? When you need that help and somebody's willing to step up and give it to you because you have a relationship with them, it's a great place to be. Camaraderie in our industry is huge, and you see it all the time at Vision with the people that go to Vision and things like that, and people that go to the events. But a lot of times those are the same people that we see over and over again, right? If we can get that to happen across the whole continent or whole United States, mm-hmm. where everybody's getting along, everybody understands that we're all here to doing the same hard job, trying to work together. We can share tools, we can share ideas, we can share knowledge about how to handle employee situations. It's just a wealth of information that's out there for us. We don't have to solve all our own problems. It's just like a car. Somebody has already solved that problem somewhere. All you got to do is reach out and find the answer, that somebody else has solved it. And maybe I'm not beating my head nearly as hard.
It's a great point, Paul. I want to ask you this, and Peter, guys, you're all problem solvers. I really think that's how we all started in business. Okay. We were problem solvers. One of the things I love to do, I love to solve problems. Love it. Give me a problem and let me think it through. So here I am in the shop and I've got a problem, right? If I'm friends with the guy down the road, the guy 3 blocks over, the guy in the community over there, we know each other. And I realize, oh my God, how do I know that my scope isn't wrong? God, you think outside the box, where can I get another identical one here? Where can I get this tool? And I always wanted to buy that puller, but I never did. But I know I toured Charlie's shop and I saw one there, and oh my God, I'm in deep trouble. This car's doing 2 hours. What do I do? You can't solve a problem if you don't have resources, right, Peter?
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to have the resources. We have we had a Google sheet between a whole bunch of shops of all of our tool lists at one point. It's since got a little bit old. We maybe should update it, talk to our friends again about doing it. If we had a timing chain kit that we didn't have the tool for, we could look up and see, oh, this guy's got it. He's a few blocks down, send a message, hey, using the tool, can we borrow it a little bit? And it went back and forth. And we still use the 1, 2, 3 rule, right? You guys know in the shop, you borrow it once, twice, the third time you probably shouldn't buy it. But for those one-offs, it's great to have that list, and it's been really handy.
Our business development group right now is just starting to do that because of the same thing. I mean, every time you get a vehicle and it's a specialty tool, and, you know, when you talk about Peter, talk about timing chain kits. You know,
Yeah.
you hate to buy the timing chain kit, use it once, and then it sits in your toolbox. But the guy up the street, your colleague up the street, needs it, and then he goes out and buys it. We had a situation a couple of years ago. We took on a fleet of vehicles. We didn't have a scan tool to get into some of the vehicles that we're working on. So I got a friend that's got a shop up the street. We've been friends for 40 years. Stopped and asked him, I said, what are you guys using for scan tools for your mid-sized trucks? He says, you know, Paul, he says, we don't do enough of them to justify buying a scan tool. I said, you know, I'm in the same position. I said, Don, I said, why don't we just buy one together? Let's split the cost of it. We'll split the updates of it. It's going to be at your shop. It's going to be at my shop. We just, you know, and we're covered. And so we were able to buy equipment together. This is why we build relationships with other shops and dealerships. I try to be on a good terms with all my local dealerships because there are times, and they've been generous enough to lend me that specialty tool every now and then. You know, I just make sure when I return it, it comes with a couple dozen donuts and return it at break time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, you know, there's a time down the road that they may need something from me. Hey, we got a Volkswagen and we can't get a code out of. We don't know how to work on it. Bring it down. We'll pull the codes out. We'll help you out as much as we can. It's a win-win situation.
Guys, I really like what you're talking about here, but let me spin this a minute. How do you share business acumen together? Ideas, marketing, challenges you have, hiring, firing, benefits, all that?
Sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've known a couple of shops who are looking for techs. We're not currently looking for techs, but I told them, I said, if I get a good tech coming in, I'll send them up to you.
Yeah, I actually had I hired a tech about a year and a half ago, thanks to a neighbor north of me. He had a guy come in with a resume. I kind of was looking for somebody. He sent him down my way, and he's been a great addition to the shop. And it was probably a better fit for my shop than he was for the other shop. He probably wouldn't have lasted there just based on the way that they work and how they do things. Not that they run a bad shop. They're different than us. So Corey, the owner of the other shop, realized this person is a better fit with me, and he knew I was looking for somebody and was just a better option. That's been great. That was fantastic for me.
Yeah.
What other ideas are you sharing besides the tools, Brad?
Marketing. We share a lot of our marketing stuff. You know, of course, you know Judy. She's a mile away from me, and she runs a great shop. And for 15 years now, we've been sharing ideas, especially her and my wife, who handle the marketing programs, just on how they're reaching their customers, how we're reaching ours. We go back and forth. Now we have made a point of not necessarily using the same company, so that that company isn't having to deal with competing in our own market. But let
me say, if you had a social media company and you realize that you would have different ones so that you didn't look alike.
Right, we try to do that. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to. You know, we each have our own identity.
You have your own identity, but yet the ideas are the same, but the resources could be different.
Right. Exactly.
Or should be different. Yes. Okay.
Yep.
That's
cool. And how you handle all that. So, and it's great. I mean, I can't say enough about the relationships that we have in Boulder. So
I've really got on a kick about 3 years ago about this whole buy me coffee, right? And I called it Adopt a Shop, and never really pushed it out and did anything heavy with it. But I get closer and closer to wanting to do this on a national basis. But the whole purpose of reaching out to get someone engaged that's in your marketplace and to buy them a cup of coffee is, you know, what's in it for you? Well, I just want to say hello. I struggle every day just like you do. Well, I'm not interested. We are creating right now this podcast episode that I had never thought of until right now. Okay, listen, don't want to have coffee? Do me a favor. Go to this website, remarkableresults.biz, and search for episode 162 and listen to it. And then I'm going to call you in a week after you listen to it. And he's going to hear the behind-the-scenes story of the value and the power of friendships and networking. Because we've talked about it on the show, but we've never really had a narrowed focus episode to explain to someone because we all care so much about our industry and elevating the people that need elevation. You guys are doing it for yourselves every day. Think of the learning that you and your team are going through, and think of the training that the competitor is not getting, both on the business, the service, and the technical side of our industry. Uh, this virus, these cancellations, is going to change our dynamic immensely. I don't think we really realize the impact this is going to have when we are starting to realize that people may not be driving the kind of miles that they are. I mean, I don't know what the impact's going to be, but we could sure sit down in a think tank and figure out what we better start doing. Better to do it together than all alone on an island.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Totally.
Hey, let me give another, Peter, I'm going to come to you next, but if you haven't thought about your management software this year, it's probably time. You may be sitting on some old legacy something. Now, Shop Management is transforming the way shops like yours do business by giving you tools to increase your sales while delighting your customers. Go to shop-ware.com for all the details. More time, more profit. Peter, you learned all this networking stuff from your dad.
Yeah, for me, it's interesting when you talk about how do you create this. I can't think of how to create it because it's just, it was, it's all I knew. Stories of new shops opening up in my area where another shop might come visit them and say, hey, just so you know, there's going to be this older Kiwi guy who's going to come in and he's just going to show up. He's going to walk into your shop. He's going to start giving you statements about what you're doing wrong or how he can help you with this, or this tool is not very good, you should buy this tool instead, and then kind of just walk out and things, and he'll just come in randomly. That's what my dad used to do, and he started to really build a culture of everybody getting together and doing things, and it kind of grew from there. We've got, you mentioned earlier about our local company, trade show, parts company, Lordco Parts. Their rep in our local area did a really good job of creating social environments, golf tournaments or just barbecues, things like that, where all the shops came together and got to talk. And, we talked about these challenges that we have. These challenges, we realized, oh, we all are having these same challenges. This is interesting. But you figured it out. How did you figure it out? And it just becomes natural, and you start talking, you start visiting, you start going out for lunches, and like you said, buy a coffee for people. It's really all I know. So it's interesting how to create it. I don't know how to create it, I guess. Well, I probably do. You just show up at somebody's door and start talking to them. But
I think you completely changed my strategy. Hey, screw the idea of saying, let's go have coffee. Just walk in.
yeah,
Just like your dad did.
Go to the shop and visit them. Hey, how you doing? They may be busy and off you go, but yeah. It's one of the things. I don't do as good a job of that as my dad did, I gotta say, but the relationships are built already, so maybe I don't have to do it as much, but I probably should.
What do you guys think of that? Just walk in.
I think
I
it's
think
a
go
good
ahead.
idea. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I mean, the phone call is a little impersonal, but the walking in and just saying, "Hey, Bob, just drive by, stop in, and see how things are going." And I'm just on the street. If you need anything, give me a holler. It's just checking in, seeing what's up, see what's happening.
Yeah, or even break the ice. Hey, I heard you bought that new Snap-on scanner. I'm looking at buying it. What are you thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
Get their opinion and build value in their opinion, which might also make them want to know your opinion, right? So.
Right, exactly. Don't come in there, trying to tell them what to do, but ask them.
Don't do what my dad did.
Right.
Right.
But I agree. Just ask him. He said, maybe come and say, "Man, business has been really slow for me." I says, "Yeah, I see you guys are always filled up. What are you guys doing? You mind sharing that?" I think everybody is so caught up in their own little worlds. They're afraid that somebody's going to steal an idea from them. And like you said earlier, Carm, there are so many vehicles out there to work on that there's just absolutely no way we could work on them all. And there's no I don't want to work on them all.
It's called blinders.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Yeah.
I had a new shop open up across the fence from me, and I kind of popped in there one day and I said, "How's it going? I've got some old equipment that I'm not using anymore. You're welcome to have it if you'd like to have it, if it helps you, a spring compressor and stuff." And he was very excited about it and took it. And we traded information about what I was using for software and things like that. So It's easy to introduce yourself. You just have to do it.
Yeah.
So the overall shot is this: if you ever are going to be negative, Brad, on any shop, don't expect to walk in, shake a hand, and say, "Let's work together and do some stuff."
Absolutely not. No, and it's more than just you, right? Like you have to let all your employees know that you just don't do this here, right? We don't talk about other shops. We don't criticize other work. You know, we state what needs to be done. We show them why, and we take care of the problem. But we're not here to crush other shops, because that doesn't make us look good. It makes us seem small, and you're hurting yourself when you talk. People don't realize it, but when you start slamming somebody else, the person that you're talking to is sitting there going, you know, who is this guy to say this? You know, what secrets does he have in his closet? So there's no reason to downplay other shops, to try to hurt their credibility. You should focus on your own professional set of skills and how great you are, and talk about how good the industry is, and how rare it is if something does go wrong, and we're here to help fix it. Those are the things that we got to focus on.
I agree with you on that, Brad. And one of the traps we got to be careful is the customers, especially if they've had a bad experience at another shop, will come in and sometimes try to trap you or trip you into saying, "Oh yeah, they really screwed it up. They shouldn't have done that." And I'll defend every single shop in my town. He says, maybe they just had a bad day. It's easy to miss that. He says, but we're here to help you. But if you want, if it's a warranty issue, we try to send them back to the original shop and say, hey, this is something that, they may have messed up, or they might have just been having a bad day. Give them a chance to go ahead and fix it.
The answer is,
Yes.
I know Charlie down the road. He's good people. I know his people. Hell, we've had dinner together. This, please go there and get that taken care of. Let me call him for you.
That's exactly the relationship we have with the Haglunds. Boulder isn't a giant town, but we're two of the bigger shops in it. And when we get some kind of a concern or a problem from their shop that comes to us, that's the exact conversation we have. It's like, hey, I know those guys. They're really good. Tell me about what happened. Why are you not going back there? Can I take it over there? Do you mind if I contact the owner? Or do you want to go back yourself? You're just supporting, you're making yourself. And when you do that, honestly, look, you're earning that customer. There's a good chance you're earning that customer. Okay. Now, maybe they do go back to the shop, and that's great. If they did, you did the right thing. Okay. But there's a good chance they're looking at you at that point going, wow, this person is really a stand-up guy, and he's telling me the truth. And, maybe I'm just going to stay here because it's closer to my office, or whatever the reason might be.
There's an aside to that too. When you're friends with all of your local shops around there, and you've got a customer that's come in and first time, and they mention a few things about some shops that you say they ripped me off, or they screwed this up, or whatever, and you're like, yeah, I know that guy. He's a good guy, and I know that shop. He's a pretty good guy. I think you might be a bad customer. So you kind of,
the problem.
Yeah. So I don't know if I want to be in that pile of invoices that you're complaining about, right?
Yeah, and we've actually have done that exact same thing, Peter. If we've had a bad experience, and we've all had that customer that no matter what you do, they're never going to be happy, and you find out they've been to other shops and had that same issues, I'll call my colleagues and say, hey, watch out for this guy. If he comes knocking at your door, I'm not telling you not to take him, but just be careful.
It'd be nice if there was a Google review for customers, right? Or like how Uber is, you gotta rate your rider and the driver.
Yeah,
exactly. We need to do a customer rate. I'm from Buffalo, and I remember, I have a monthly breakfast with a whole group of independents, and I can't remember, a year ago, everybody was going around the room. There were a dozen guys at the table, and they were all talking about the same car. Wait a minute. Was it this car? Did she look like this? And it ended up that this couple went to almost every one of the shops with a similar problem, and they weren't good experiences. They were end up getting bad reviews, and there was an angle to it. I don't remember what it was, but it's not good. It goes back to the fact that the shops were talking, and it's almost like pick up the phone and says, "Hey, I want to let you know if only one needs to get ripped off, not another dozen.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And the only way you prevent that is by being united, being a team, working with each other. I wrote down something here called common sense. I wrote down something here called it's just logical to want to do this. I don't understand why we look at competition down the road. And Peter, you had a friend move within 5 blocks of you?
Yeah, I just had a friend in the shop. They've been around for 35 years, I think. So similar kind of stage as us, second generation shop. And unfortunately, his property got sold, so he had to move. And he was about 5 miles away. I'm sorry, I'm Canadian. I'm not sure on distances, but 8 kilometers or something. And he's a block and a half away from me now. I kind of look at it. Actually, it's a pretty good thing. At first, I was like, oh, he's a good shop. He's going to be tough competition. But then I start looking, it's like, well, if we surround our area with really great shops like him and myself and a couple other shops in the area, we're probably going to be doing a better job, right? And you think about, I can't remember what the book is, but you're the average of your 5 closest friends.
Yeah.
You could probably do that with your shops in your area as well. So in the end, it's going to be a good thing. And I'm looking forward to having him as a neighbor and knowing that we can continue to rise the tide, right? I think, as they say.
Yes, that's right. Interesting. So where's the best automotive repair? Langley, BC. No, wait a minute. Where's the best automotive repair? Langley, BC. Wouldn't it be cool, where you guys, Northwoods, in Rhinelander, Wisconsin, where's the best automotive repair? Rhinelander, Wisconsin. I mean, everyone there is great.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. And to build on what you said, Peter, if we work together, all we can do is elevate our profession. If we're working together, if we're working against each other, we're on a race to the bottom.
Yeah,
So why are we
You're
in
right.
this position, guys? Why do we need to talk about this?
Well, I'll go up there. I said
yeah.
we need to talk about this because we need to have an open discussion. We need to have people across the country start to realize that we're all in the business to try to do the same thing. We're trying to eke out a living, make a living, fix vehicles, customers' vehicles, fix the problems, get them on the road, and we can't do them all. And we got to realize that there's other shops that are just struggling along with us. And if we're constantly fighting against each other, we're never gonna grow as an industry. But if we work together, my wife runs an electrical contracting business. She works very well with other electricians, and because they know they can't handle all the work, and they're constantly, they'll even share employees back and forth. If they got a big job, they'll say, you know what, I need a couple electricians. I thought, boy, wouldn't that be great if we were slow and another shop was busy? Hey, you know what? I got a technician. I'll let you borrow him for a week.
Yeah, actually, a group of friends, it was a couple of years ago, one of the shops ended up just he had a rock star walk in the door, and he just had to hire the person. He couldn't not as a technician. This is a guy he'd been looking for forever. But he was too heavy, and he needed to let another person go, and it broke his heart because he all of his staff is really good. Before he even gave the gentleman his notice, he found him another job within our shop of friends, and so that guy was able to go and work at the other place. He had no downtime, didn't have to worry about collecting EI, just able working. And that's another thing we can do, helping our staff by having a good set of friends, making sure that they're taken care of too.
Huge benefit there. Wow.
Yeah.
Love that. Hey, final shout out to Shopware. Now's the time to transform your shop. Transform your shop, not only in what we're discussing here, but with your software. Break away from your legacy SMS and embrace shop management. Shopware can show you the way to increase profits from happier customers and a more efficient staff. Visit shop-ware.com/demo for a free preview. More time, more profit. Hey guys, we could probably go on for an awful long time, but I love the fact that we're making this kind of tight and succinct. I know you're traveling, Brad. Thank you for being here. And I would love to give each of you just one final, summary comment is someone will listen to this podcast and say, okay, what's the big deal here? What do I have to learn to work together? Why should my competitor be my friend? I'll start with you, Peter.
Sure. Well, your friends help you, and do you want to have an enemy out there as a competitor that is not helping you, or is hindering you out there and bad mouthing you? If you're friends with them and helping them, they're also going to do the same for you. So on the interest of growing your business, I can't see that as being a bad thing in any ways. And just, yeah, being able to help and sharing resources and tools. And a lot of us use the same software system, so a lot of us have great ideas of how we use it, or somebody's having a problem with it or a glitch, figure that out. There's just so many aspects, right? Employees, customers, resources, tools, that we can be better by being friends with your neighbors. It's a no-brainer to me, because like I said, I just grew up like that. That's how I know it. So
Guys, John Gustafson made a comment in the Zoom chat about big egos. He said small shops, big egos. Did you guys have to put your ego on the shelf way back as you were starting and started to get friends in the industry?
Yes,
Sure, yeah.
I'll go right out and admit it. Yeah, I had to put my ego off to the side and realize it's more than just about me.
Yeah, when I was first brought into our group with TechNet, I was really cautious about sharing and stuff because I didn't understand yet, and as I started to see how the other people around me they'd already learned that there's value in sharing. They started to share with me, and I was like, why are they doing this? And then it starts to settle in that this is really about just getting better, because the better I am, the more customers I'm going to have. I don't have to worry about other people across the street or down the block or wherever they are.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Paul, give me a summary.
Yeah, one of the things, and this is why we want to make our colleagues our friends, is that, I've always said, I'll never lose a customer to another repair shop. I'll never lose a customer to another colleague. If my customer winds up at the shop up the street, I screwed up. And I think that's an important message for all of us to remember. Our good customers don't go price shopping. They're going to stay with us. So if they're all of a sudden you're losing customers to another colleague, it's not them stealing the customers. We got to remember we got to look within. And
it's you lost them.
Yeah. We lost them. They didn't steal them from us. And I think that's one of the biggest fears that other shop owners have is, if I become friends with them and start sharing things, they're going to start stealing some of my customers. And am I giving them ideas to steal customers? And you're not. It's a win-win.
That could be a very upfront discussion. We're gonna survive better if we work together.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Pellman, it was Judy who brought me this whole topic a few months ago, and she wanted to be on this so bad, but I said, you or Brad. She goes, do Brad. So, thank you for being here. I'm going to give you the last word.
My last word is, Paul actually said it very well, but I'm going to repeat it. And this really is about, the friendship side of it and being friends with those shops and stuff. It enables you to have a lot of pathways to success, to win in your business, because you have people to share with or share ideas, share tools, share equipment, and they're not bad mouthing you because you're not bad mouthing them. The key for me to have a great successful client base is to focus on me, do everything right in my business. I'm looking at everything. How does my business look from the outside? How does it look to the customer when they walk in? How are they treated? How was the service? How was the phone answered? Every single thing that we can work on in our business to make me great. And then if I do that, why would somebody leave, right? Maybe they are going to leave because there's a personality clash or something like that. I can't do anything about that. But they're certainly not leaving me for any reason of, the car wasn't fixed right, or I don't like the way I was talked to, or it was dirty, or whatever. So, the big picture is focus on you, focus on your business, make it as great as it can possibly be. You'll have plenty of clients. They won't leave. And be friends with the shop down the street, because then you have partners. Go to events, share your stories, share your ideas, and learn from other people who have been there.
Great summary, Brad. Thank you so much. Brad Pellman from Pellman's Automotive, Boulder, Colorado, ASE Master Certified and has his AAM designation. Paul Marquardt, shop owner, Northwoods Auto Techs, Rhinelander, Wisconsin, NAPA trainer, and was the NAPA ASE Tech of the Year 2010. And Peter Foreman, Integra Tire, Langley, BC, second generation shop owner. And his dad was a networking guy way back. And we should learn from that story. I loved it.